2025 was the year of CapEx announcements for data centers in India. The monster announcement came in October 2025 when Google announced a $15 billion CapEx investment to set up 1 gigawatt of data center capacity in Andhra Pradesh. For context, India's live data center capacity as of right now is approximately 1.35 gigawatts. So that one project over the next 5 years is going to be almost equal to our entire country capacity in the next 5 years. So today, we're going to answer 10 critical questions to share 10 interesting facts and anecdotes about India's $100 billion data center opportunity. And today's breakdown is based on a 75-page report from JM Financial. So welcome to Breakdown. We'd like to give a shout out to the 01 network. We're extremely grateful to the help from Zerodha. How much data center capacity are we going to build in the next 5 years? To set the context, we have already tripled our data center capacity from 2020 to 2025. Today, we have approximately 1.35 gigawatts of data center capacity live. According to the JM Financial estimate, we will exit 2030 with 5 gigawatts of data center capacity. Today, the average Indian consumes 25 GB of data per month. They estimate by FY30 that we will consume 50 GB of data a month, driven by 3 tailwinds: increasing smartphone penetration, increasing 5G penetration, and increasing utilization of AI tools. The base case is that by FY30, we will be at about 5 gigawatts of data center capacity. And in addition to this, I believe there will be an additional 2 to 3 gigawatts of AI-focused data center capacity that has been announced in the last 6 to 9 months, which will take approximately 2.5-3 years to construct. Therefore, how much capacity? Anywhere from 5 to 8 gigawatts by 2030, 3 to 5 times the capacity today. The next question, where will this capacity be built? Most of the incremental capacity would be built out in the city, Mumbai. As of today, over 52% of our 1.35 gigawatt capacity is based in Mumbai, and there is over a 1 gigawatt pipeline that is already in development in Mumbai. So according to JM Financial, by 2030, the ranking of cities in terms of data center capacity would be Mumbai in first place, followed by Chennai, Hyderabad in third place, followed by Bangalore. And this is where I actually differ from the JM Finance team. Given what we now know about the mega CapEx projects that have been announced in Hyderabad and the wider state of Telangana, and in Visakhapatnam and the wider state of Andhra Pradesh, I actually think in the next 5 years, this ranking will change substantially. I still think that Mumbai will hold on to its first pole position. However, it will no longer be 50% of India's capacity. Chennai, which is in second place today, will probably fall from position 2 to position 4, and positions 2 and 3 will be hotly contested between Hyderabad and Visakhapatnam. Why is 5G such a big driver of the construction of data centers? At the end of the calendar year 2024, approximately 10% of India's customer base of mobile phones were 5G enabled. At the end of 2025, that has grown from 10% to closer to about 35%. JM estimates that by the end of 2026, this will go from 36.5 crore to 55 crore. Once you move from 4G to 5G, because the buffer times on streaming drops to such a great degree, the latency on almost all activities on your mobile phone drops to a great degree, your consumption of mobile data is just going to spike. But I think we'll get somewhere close in that 40 to 50 GB per capita per month data consumption by 2030. And that will be a very big driver of the demand for data centers in India. Is there a risk of overbuilding or overcapacity if we jump? And the data answers the fact that this is not something that should concern you. So after the AI wave hit with the launch of ChatGPT in November 2022, the average vacancy at data centers globally dropped from 10% to 6.5%. In fact, in India, the average data center vacancy is 4%. And when you go to Mumbai, the vacancy is 2%. The key metric that industry insiders use to gauge whether a country has over or under capacity is petabytes per megawatt. For context, India has one of the highest petabytes to megawatt ratio at 14.5. The USA is 0.3 petabytes. So therefore, should you be worried about overcapacity? I think the data tells us no. The next question that people ask is, how much capital will we have to spend as a nation to be able to reach this 5 or 8 gigawatt target? So remember that JM Finance has worked with the assumption that we'll hit about 5 gigawatts of data center capacity by 2030, primarily driven by the construction of co-location data centers. Now they went offline, they spoke to the EPC companies and the data center operators and broadly arrived at the figure that it costs 46.5 crores to build 1 megawatt of co-location data center capacity, but it costs 138 crore rupees per megawatt of a cloud or a high-end computational data center. This delta of about 91 crore rupees per megawatt is pretty much accounted for by the fact that a co-location operator provides the bare shell, whereas a high-end data center is going to install the chips on the racks, and that drives bulk of the incremental CapEx. And therefore, it's estimated that if we hit all of our targets, we would spend upwards of $50 billion. For context, the Indian data center industry today has seen less than $5 billion of CapEx investment. So the scale is mind-boggling. The simple way to visualize the cost of a data center is two parts. There is CapEx and then OpEx, which is recurring expenditure as part of operating the data center. Let's make the calculation simple. 50 crore rupees for 1 megawatt of co-location data center. What are the CapEx drivers here? The building and the fit out costs about 10 crore rupees, which is 25% of the total. The land costs about 8 crore, which is 15% of the total. The HVAC, which is the heating, ventilation, air systems and cooling, costs another 8 crore, which is 15%. The electrical systems, which will cost 20 crore rupees. So as you can see, a big driver of CapEx is the electrical fittings. So with this, you now understand the CapEx or the upfront cost drivers to set up a data center in India. This now brings us to an interesting question. Let's say you have the 46.5 and you want to build out that 1 megawatt. How long is it going to take? The answer is anywhere from 26 to 42 months to build out and launch the data center, and then anywhere from 3 to 36 months to get to that 80 to 90% capacity ramp where the data center is profitable on an operating basis. To give you some ideas, there was something called the data center policy that was launched in 2020, and this 26 to 42 month tenure of building a data center comes after the single window approval process as part of this data center policy of 2020. When it comes to the operating expenses, cooling is a very important driver of costs in a data center. It's the largest driver of the cost of electricity, and electricity is 40% of the total operating spend at even a low-end data center. The next technical nuance is the concept of depreciation. When it comes to the world of AI data centers, where there is constant innovation at the cutting edge for chips, it is very difficult to know what is the useful life of the chip. And I think the best answer to depreciation comes from the founder of Cerebras, that depreciation charged to AI infrastructure isn't an accounting abstraction. It is a function of technology-led obsolescence. According to him, the nuance is, at some point, it is no longer worth using an older generation GPU because there is a new generation GPU that is much faster, much less power intense, and therefore it is more cost effective to incur the CapEx of buying this new GPU than to continue to run the existing GPU. How much revenue can a data center make, and what is the valuation that can be ascribed to a data center business? According to the team at JM Financial, the average rental per month for 1 megawatt of capacity at a co-location data center is 7,700 rupees. In several cases in Mumbai, due to the low vacancy, the cost can go up to 9,500 rupees per month per 1 megawatt of capacity at a co-location data center. And therefore, this 1 megawatt of co-location capacity running at near full utilization, which is where Mumbai is, would generate 22 crore rupees of annual revenue, which is equal to about $2.5 million. If you now take a step back and think about the JM Financial estimate, 5 gigawatt co-location capacity by FY30, running at about 95% utilization, given the price that we know, would roughly equate to about $10 billion of annual revenue in FY30 from the co-location data center market itself. And typically the PAT margin in these businesses is 10%. So you'd make about $1 billion of PAT. When you look at the US listed comps in the co-location data center space, they trade at about 40 to 50 times earnings. And this would mean $50 billion of enterprise value in a base case from the projected co-location data centers that will be built in India. On top of this, you have to assume we'll build another 2.5 to 3 gigawatts of AI and high-end computational data center capacity. Now, the JM Finance team has another non-revenue approach to estimating the enterprise value creation through data centers. According to their research, the US listed and unlisted co-location data center operators trade at about 30 times the megawatt capacity of the data center that is live. And therefore, by FY30, if we have 5 gigawatts of data center capacity built out, with let's say 75% of it live, if you take that 30 times megawatt rule, it would mean we come to that $100 billion number of enterprise value that JM Financial is saying is the India opportunity. But none of JM Financial's projections have accounted for the hyperscaler investment in AI data centers. Therefore, if you were to ask me, I think $50 billion is the bear case, $100 billion is the base case, and the bull case could be anywhere from 150 to $250 billion of enterprise value, depending on where pure play data center operators in India list on the price spectrum and where we land on the construction spectrum. With this, we've covered answers to the 10 key questions that several of you have either asked us or may have had about the $100 billion data center opportunity in India over the next 5 years. As we wrap up today's breakdown, which is part 2 in our Everything About Data Centers series, I thought it would be a very interesting opportunity to highlight the fact that pure play data center operators that have started in India have either been acquired, like NetMagic that was acquired by NTT Data in 2012, or they are subsidiaries of foreign listed companies like SISL, which is a subsidiary of SIFI Technologies listed in the US, or these are embedded in larger conglomerates which you as a shareholder could purchase. For example, Adani Connex in Adani Enterprises, Nextra as part of Bharti Airtel, and Reliance Intelligence as part of Reliance Industries. For the first time, as we record today's breakdown, India is about to get a pure play data center operator in the listed universe. And this is SISL that has filed a 3,700 crore rupee DRHP with the SEBI to list in the Indian markets. Interestingly, Bharti Airtel, which took over the majority ownership of Indus Towers, has itself clarified that it doesn't intend to merge Nextra with Indus Towers, and therefore there is a possibility that as Reliance spins out Jio through an IPO, Bharti Airtel might spin out Nextra through an IPO, and therefore we may have an increasing pipeline of pure play data center operators that will list in India. And we had actually highlighted in part 1 of the breakdown that as of now we have none in the listed universe. So it's clear that India's data center boom is about to happen over the next 10 years. All of the ingredients are right. We have strong domestic demand, we have regulations that are pushing for localization of data and therefore domestic development of data centers. We have states that are providing generous subsidies. We have foreign multinational corporations who finally got the message and are willing to invest in data centers in India. For a change, we have domestic capital capital that is available in our large conglomerates that is being invested via joint ventures or other means into the development of data centers. We have an active ecosystem of suppliers or ancillaries to data centers, right from EPC to cooling to real estate to electricals to servers and integrations and so on and so forth. So the ingredients are right. The boom is about to come to town, and this time Mumbai is not going to be the only city to have all the fun. It has serious competition from Hyderabad, Visakhapatnam, and several other cities which are up and coming on the data center radar. That's all from us on part 2 of our breakdown of everything data centers. Thank you so much. That's me, Rahul. Bye bye.